Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the COVID-19 lab. This is the 5th video. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been discussing what is a group policy and how to use it. A group policy, it is a centralized tool provided by Microsoft through the Active Directory. Okay, you can control the Windows environment on all of your PCs in your domain or on your network using the group policy. And not only that, you can control the other application environments on all of your PCs. So for example, if you need to have a unified background to be applied to all of your PCs in the domain, this can be done using the group policy. For example, if you need to have a certain home page to be applied to all of your Firefox browser on all of your PCs, also this can be done using a group policy. So group policy, it is a way to control the user environment and the computer environment on all of your PCs in the domain. So you can control what a user can see from the Windows environment, all the application environments, or you can control what the computer as a whole can see. So you can limit it to a user or limit it to a computer. Okay, and then we discussed how we can download the different group policy templates for the different applications. So if you need to control the Firefox using the group policy, you need to group policy management console. You need to download the Firefox group policy templates and add it to the Windows group policy. Okay, because by default the Active Directory contains the group policy to control the Windows environment only. So if you need to add additional environments to control, for example like the Firefox environments, you need to download the group policy template for Firefox and add it to the Windows group policy template. So we downloaded the Firefox group policy template, the Classic Shell group policy template. We have been discussing that the Classic Shell, it is a program to change this menu. So this is the default Windows 10 menu, start menu. The Classic Shell changes it to a Windows 7 like start menu. So you can control through a group policy for this application what the user can see. So for example, you can control what the user can see. For example, if you need to hide the PC setting from the Classic Shell menu, this can be done. You need to have certain items to appear. You need, for example, to have the default programs not appearing, the device operators not appearing. You need to pin some icons in the Classic menu or the Classic Shell menu. All of this can be done using the Classic Shell group policy. And we have downloaded the Chrome group policy. Okay, and we have downloaded the Office 2019 group policy, and we have downloaded the Microsoft Edge group policy, and we have also downloaded the Adobe Reader DC group policy. So these are all group policy templates that we can use them to control different environments for different applications. So after downloading all of them, we need to make something called a group policy central store location. This is a place that we will collect and put all of the group policy templates of the different applications, and in addition to the Windows group policy. Okay, by default the group policy for Windows location, it is in something called C Windows policy definitions. So we will change this location C Windows policy definitions to another location, and this will be called central store location. This location, it's in C Windows sysvol then policies. So we will change the default group policy location from C Windows policy definitions to C Windows sysvol policies then policy definitions, and this new location will be called central store location. And this has a lot of benefits I will discuss later, but this is why we use or why we make something called central store location. In this location we will add all of these group policies. Okay, and in addition to the Windows group policy, and I will discuss what is the benefits of having a central store location. Okay, so a central store location, it is a way to make all of your servers and your workstation to have only one group policy template to be used and to be unified on all of your PCs in the domain. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, let's see how, or this is we have done in the previous video. In this video we will continue working with our domain, so we will begin creating different users and groups in our patient.0 or patient0.internal domain, and we will create the group policy central store location. And I think we can have a little bit of definition of group policy central store benefits. Central store group policy central store location benefits. Well, let's have this the definition. Okay, so here this is one of the, or this is the create a central store for group policy templates overview. And let's see here. Okay, so here we see this is the definition: to take advantage of the benefits of the Admx files. This is the group policy template files. You must create a central store location in the sysvol folder on the domain controller. The central store, it is a file location that is checked by the group policy tools. The group policy tools use any Admx files that are in the central store. The files that are in the central store are later replicated to all domain controllers in the domain. So it is a location, as I said before, in the sysvol folder, and the group policy tools will go to this location to check or to apply the different group policy templates from this location. But there is another thing. I need to have a definition. So let's see group policy location store benefits. So here we can see that it is a location checked by group policy tools by default. This, okay, I think it is why we should use okay, there is another word for the relevant age of group policy central store. So configuring a central store prior. Okay, just a moment. So anyway, this is how we can create a group policy central store location. We'll begin this video and see how we can make a group policy central store location. I think I have something like documentation on this part, so let me show you all. Here is something. I have this, or have the benefits of the group policy. Here we can see that. Let me show you all a little bit of the benefit. Where is the DC comics MDAT? And we will have the group policy template. Just a moment. So here sysvol group policy template. Let's see here, group policy gateway, group policy. It is central store location, active directory. Sorry, let's see here, active directory. let me have it here by type. So PNG, I have one of them, it's called Active Directory, Central Store Location, Active Directory, Central Store Location. So let's see here, Active Directory, I can see here Active Directory, let's see the Active Directory Central Store Location. So here we can see the Active Directory Central Store Location. Here we can see it. So here is the Active Directory Central Store Location. This is a central location to store all group policy templates. This eliminates the need for admins to load and open group policy template files on systems used to manage group policies. So here, if you have, for example, different domain controllers with different operating systems like Server 2008, Server 2012, Server 2016, Server 2003, and you have one of them Server 2019, so you need to have every one of these domain controllers will have its group policy and C Windows policy definition. So here is a policy definition for Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2019. So here we are unifying all of these group policy templates for different servers to be in one place. So here in Windows Server 2019 we will make a central group policy store location. All of the domain controllers will go there and get there or apply the group policy templates from one central location. Okay, so this is it. What is the benefits? Ensure all admins are using the same group policy templates. Load the same templates files for any computer. Make it easier to manage and update template files by having only one location to update. Reduce templates files in the sysvol and reduce replication between domain controllers. So by this we are eliminating the need to replicate the group policy definitions or the group policy templates to all of the servers, okay, because they are additional domain controllers, so they need to have the group policy replicated from the primary domain controller. This will be eliminated because all of the group policy templates are on the primary domain controller, and all of the additional domain controllers will get their group policy templates from there. Okay, so they don't need to be replicated because they will go there and get it, but anyway it will be replicated. Okay, so this is why we have a group policy central store location. Let's begin the lab and see how we can continue. First of all, we will customize we will add or download an additional Firefox group policy template. This is it's continuing what I have done before in the previous video. So I am downloading additional group policy Firefox templates. So here we will add it. So here also let me show you guys a little bit also of a graph or something like a PowerPoint presentation to show you all how let me show you what is the explanation of the something called the group policy templates. So let me show you all how this is done. We can have it, I think, from the let me have a look, just a moment. So here guys, let me show you all a little bit of a presentation. Okay, here we can see that, or this will explain what is a group policy central store location. Here we can see that this our primary domain controller, and it contains Windows Server 2019, and this is the default Windows group policy templates location, C Windows policy definitions. And here we can see that there are additional domain controllers. Okay, they have also, this is for example Windows Server 2003, and this is the default group policy location, C Windows policy definitions. And this is another one which have Windows Server 2008, and then we have another one which have Windows Server 2012, and then we have another one with Windows Server 2016. So these are all okay group policy definitions for different operating systems. Okay, so one problem here that the group policy templates in different operating systems are not like or the same, because for example the group policy templates in Windows Server 2003 are older than the group policy templates in Windows Server 2008. So this will make a problem, because most of the group policies should be always updated. So for example, if you have a Windows 10 operating system and the group policy on the server is for Windows Server 2003, this group policy for Windows Server 2003 will not be applied to the Windows 10 operating system because it is newer. So anyway, we have different group policy templates with different versions of group policies. Okay, or the group policy templates here is older than there, and for example the Windows Server 2008 group policy templates are older than the Windows Server 2012, and the same applies for Windows Server 2016. It's older in group policy templates than Windows Server 2019. So to solve this problem, as for the group policy templates are different and they are not the same, so we will unify or will make one central store location or one location for group policy templates which contains the latest group policy templates. So we will make the primary domain controller, we will have our another thing, or let me show you all what I mean by this. So here we will have our Windows Server 2019. Okay, and we will make our central store location, which will be in sysvol folder policy definitions. This will be this server contains the latest group policy templates. So here we will make all of our additional servers. Okay, here we can see that all of them will get the group policy template from here. Okay, and this is the latest group policy template, so we will not have a problem concerning the group policy templates are older or they are not updated. Okay, so this is why we use the group policy central store location. Okay, so this is it. Let me begin the lab. Okay, here we go, and then let's begin. And here we have downloaded the group policy templates for Firefox. And it is zipped, and then we will unzip it. And this is it. So guys, by having a central group policy store location, we unify the group policy templates for all servers. Okay, and as I said before, the group policy templates for every server is not the same depending upon the operating system itself. So all of the servers will have a unified group policy template which will be applied to all of the PCs in the domain. So let's begin. Okay, that's it. This is the group policy templates for Firefox, and now we will begin the process of creating. So we have our patient0.internal domain. We will begin creating different users and groups and computers, and before that we will create the group policy central store location. I will show you all how we can do it. So here we will log in. and then we will create the group policy central store location. First we will go to the default group policy templates location, which is C Windows policy definitions. I will make copy of the policy definitions folder and put it in C Windows sysvol policies. Okay, here I'm just checking. This is the shared folders between my host and my guest, or between my laptop and my virtual machine. So this is a way that I can copy files from and to my host or guest, or between my virtual machine and my laptop. So here now we will begin taking the group policy templates. Okay, first of all, here I'm just copying some files. I am copying some files between my virtual machine and my laptop. I'm just updating my script sources, okay, or my tools that I'm using in my lab. So I'm just putting some files or updating some files, and then I will take the group policy templates folder that we have been creating and done in the previous video. We will take it, and then we will copy its content and put it in the new location of the group policy, which will be our central group policy central store location. I will show you all how this will be done. So here we will go to the sysvol folder. You can access it through C Windows sysvol then policies, or you can go to the shared, because this folder is shared. The sysvol folder is shared. You can access it by typing the server name and then sysvol folder. Okay, this is the share name, or you can access it through C Windows sysvol then policies. Okay, so we will have open the sysvol shared folder, and then we will go to C Windows. Okay, and copy the folder. So just a moment, here is C Windows. We will go there, C Windows, and then we will copy the policy definition. This is the default group policy templates location. We will copy this folder and go to this vol folder, then the domain, and then policies, and then we will paste this folder. So by doing this, the group policy templates new location will be in sysvol folder policies definition. Sysvol policies then policy definitions. Okay, and after that we will copy all of our application templates and put it in there. Okay, so here is our group policy templates. We'll begin copying them one by one. So here, for example, the ADM files, and there is certain locations you need to take care. So here it is the Admx files. We will copy them, okay, and go to the policies definitions, okay, here, and we will paste it here. So Admx files will be added here. As for ADML, it will be added in the English or ENUS folder. So here we have two files, ADML. These files we will go and add it to the English United States folder in the group policy templates new location. So here we will go to the English US and add the ADML files here. So the ADMX will be added outside, and the ADML will be added inside ENUS folder. Okay, so this is for the Google, and then we will begin adding it one by one. So we will go to the ADM file. So ADM file will be also put outside the ENUS folder. Okay, so here we will paste it, and at the end I will show you all how we will see the different group policy templates for different locations. Okay, for different applications I mean. Okay, okay, and I then will begin. This is the ADMX, and then we will get the different ADMX files, ADM files. We have the English, so ADM files will be added outside the English United States folder, so we'll copy it and then we will go and add it there. Okay, take care, we will not put them here, we will not put it in the ENUS folder. This is not correct. We'll put it outside the ENUS folder. Okay, anyway, so we will begin putting different group policy templates in our new location. So here the Admx files, so we'll go to United States and then we will take all of them, but these are ADML files, so they will be put in the English United States folder. Okay, so here we go, we will go to the English United States and then we'll add it there and replace it. Okay, and then add the classic shell. Okay, then we will add them all. Copy, paste, and then the ADML files will be added to the English United States folder. Okay, and then we repeat the same process for everyone. Then we add the Firefox templates. Okay, we will add the Admx files. Okay, then the English United States folder. First of all, we take the Admx file, we copy it and then paste it here, and then we'll take the English United States ADML file and add it, and paste. Okay, and then we will take it one by one. Okay, Windows and then Admx files, copy and then paste. So it's a repetitive process or a repeated process. Okay, we'll do it, I will show it one by one. Okay, copy, I think you can add it through the group policy management console, but this will be much easier. So anyway, go to the policy templates master and then Windows, and then we will go to the Admx, but I think it is repetitive, so we have done this before for the Firefox. We will go and add the group policy templates for the Google Chrome. So here is the configuration, and then Admx files and ADM files. So we will take the Admx and then the English United States. All of these are the ADML files. We have done this before, but I will do it again. So we'll copy it and then add it to the English United States folder. So this is the folder that will contain all of our ADML files. Okay, so we have two group policy templates extensions, Admx or three: ADMX, ADM, and ADML. ADMX and ADM will be added outside the English United States folder. As for the ADML file, it will be inside the ENUS folder, or this one. Okay. So let's continue here. We still working with the Firefox group policy templates, I think, or we have reached the Google Chrome. Then we will begin adding, I think, the Office group policy templates. So here we will go and add the group policy templates for the Edge, okay, the browser of Edge. We will add Windows, and then we have the Admx Files, English United States folder. This is the ADML files. It will be added to the ENUS folder. So we'll copy it here and to the ENUS, paste. Sorry guys, 1 minute. So let's continue, guys. Now we will begin adding the group policy templates for the Edge. In the ADM files, English United States. This is the ADM files. Okay, and then we have the group policy templates for the Office, okay, 64-bit, because I will install Office 64-bit system. Here we will take the ADMX files, so here you are. We will add it, copy it, then add it to the policy definitions. Okay, paste, and then we go to the United States folder, and then we'll add the ADML files, copy. We will add ADML files in the English United States folder, in the policy definitions folder, in the sysvol folder, paste. And then we will complete. There is something called admin, okay. We have something called OPAX. This will be added outside the English United States folder, so we will copy it and put it not inside the English United States, outside it, okay. So we will do this, and then we will go to the English United States, and OPAL, it will be added inside the EN United States folder, okay. So here I'm just making Control Z to get OPAX files out of the English United States folder. It will be added to the policy definitions folder. So here, just a moment. So here we will add not the OPL. OPL will be added inside the English United States folder, but first we will go and again copy the OPX files, copy them and put them inside the policy definitions folders. And then we will add the OPL files inside the English United States folder. Here we will open it and copy them. And then add them. Okay, so we have added the policy definitions for Office. Then we have the Adobe Reader. Copy, and then paste, and then we will add the English United States ADML file. So by this we have added all of the group policy templates for different applications. Now we will open the group policy console and see the different group policy policies inside, or we will see it internally, okay, or we'll see it how it will be. Here what I am doing here, I will copy. So here we have all, or we have our group policy central store location. It will contain the Windows group policy templates in addition to the application templates. So here I will copy the folder as a whole and take it as a backup, okay, so I can use it later. So here we'll make a folder called COVID-19 Windows Server and other GPOs. So here we will open it, and then we'll go to the folder of policy definitions in the sysvol folder. So here we will copy this folder. So we'll copy this folder as a whole, take it a backup of it. This will contain now, or this now contains the Windows group policy templates in addition to the application templates that we have added now. And I will take a copy of it, okay. So after doing this, we will go to the group policy management console and see the different application group policies inside the group policy management console. I will show you all now this one. So we open the patient 0 console. So we'll open the group policy management console, and then we open any group policy. For example, I have the default domain policy. If we open it, first of all, when we click on this group policy or any group policy, here we can see that it's saying that the permissions for this GPO in the sysvol folder are inconsistent with those in the Active Directory. This message appeared because we have changed the location of the group policy templates from C Windows policy definitions to sysvol policies policy definitions. So we need to click OK for the group default domain policy and the default domain controllers policy. We need to do this for both, okay. You need to do this, it will be only for these two group policies, okay. So tell him OK, and then we will do this OK only, okay. Then when you edit this group policy and open policies, we will see a little message here, policies, not preferences, okay, not this one only, sorry. We open policies and then administrative templates. We can see here that it is saying retrieved from the central store. So here it's saying central store location. So the group policies are retrieved from our new location, and here we can see the different group policies. For example, Adobe Reader, Classic Shell, Google Chrome, Office, PowerPoint, Mozilla, and all of these are added now, and we can play with them. So we can make a group policy for Adobe Reader, for Classic Shell, for Google, for Office, all of these components, okay. So now after doing this, we'll begin creating different Active Directory objects like users, computers, organizational units using PowerShell scripts. So PowerShell scripts will save time because it creates a bulk of Active Directory objects. These objects could be users, computers, groups of Active Directory, organization units in the Active Directory. So now we will tell him PowerShell admin, okay. And the first thing we see here that install, or something called install the latest PowerShell. So the PowerShell are versions. This is PowerShell 5, okay. So there is another PowerShell version. So this is PowerShell 5 version. There is PowerShell 7 version. So I will intend to install PowerShell 7, and the good thing that you can work with PowerShell 5 and PowerShell 7 side by side. So you can work with PowerShell 5 and PowerShell 7 on the same machine. Okay, so this is a big advantage. So I will install PowerShell 7 now. I will go to this website and install PowerShell 7, which contains a lot of new features. I think one of them is its integration with the Azure environment, but it also contains a lot of things. You can Google it and see. Let me show you all a little bit of something. PowerShell 7, so here we can see what is new in PowerShell 7. So here we can see that it's an open source edition of PowerShell, but built to manage heterogeneous environments and hybrid cloud. So you can manage the cloud like Azure and heterogeneous environments, okay, different environments. Okay, so what is new in this release? Pipeline parallelization with something I don't relate what is this. New operators, a simplified and dynamic error view to get error, okay, for easier investigation of errors, a compatibility layer that enables users to import modules in an implement Windows PowerShell session, automatic new version notification, the ability to invoke DSS resources directly from PowerShell 7. So this is the new features in PowerShell 7. So, and this is the operating system that support PowerShell 7, so Windows 8.1, 10, and then all versions of Windows until 2019, and Windows Server 2022, and this is the Mac OS, the Red Hat and Fedora and all of these. Okay, so this is the advantages. So let's install PowerShell 7 and I'll show you all how we can use both on the same machine. So here we will go and install the PowerShell copy, then you open the browser, which is the Edge browser, and we will use the PowerShell 7 to create our Active Directory objects. So here we can just run it a little bit quickly. So here we can see that we will take the PowerShell, install PowerShell 7, and we will have the MSI package. So we will install the PowerShell 7 not through an exe file but through MSI file, and this is good because if we need to install PowerShell 7 on a lot of PCs in our domain, it is better to use a file.msi and deploy it using a group policy. So we will download this package, and so we can install it later on different PCs. So if you need to install PowerShell 7 or your server and all of your PCs in the domain, you need to download the PowerShell 7.msi file and deploy it using a group policy. Okay, so let's begin here and see. So here, let's first of all, here I will show you all how we can know the version of the PowerShell. So here, this is a command. It says that this is PowerShell 5, okay, and this is the build. Okay, so now we have known the version of the PowerShell. Okay, and then let's begin and see how we will install the package. So here we download, or we will download the 64-bit version of the PowerShell 7.msi file, and we will install it. So let's see how we'll install it now. Let's go and see this one. So here we will install the package. Here we will download the installer package. Here it is. Just a moment. So let's go a little bit further here. So here we download the installer package from the latest here. So let's click here again. So here again I will show you all how we can download it. We will click on latest here. Okay, on this installing script here we can see this will get us to the GitHub website, and through it we will download the PowerShell 7 file. So here we go. Let's go a little bit further here. So this is the file. Just a moment. Again, here we go. This is the file. We will install it. Okay, or we download it. Okay, and it is about 95 megabytes. So this is the URL for downloading the PowerShell 7. Okay, here it is. Then download the PowerShell 64-bit system. Okay, I think we can move further. So here the PowerShell 7. Okay, I have 16 seconds. We have 3 seconds left, and now we will install the PowerShell 7, and we will see that we can use both PowerShell 5 and PowerShell 7 side by side. Okay, so now we will open the file. Then we will install the PowerShell. Here you go. That is it. Next. PowerShell. Okay. Okay. And then we will check all of these ones. So we'll enable PowerShell remoting to be enabled. Open context here to Explorer. Run with PowerShell 7. So here this will be added to a menu. So if you right click, you can see that you can run with PowerShell 7 appearing when you right click. Okay, and a lot of things, so you need to check all of these. Okay, next, install. And we will use it to create Active Directory objects. Then we will close this one. Tell him launch PowerShell 7. Here we see it's a little bit different. It's have a black screen, or we can see here that also the PowerShell, it will be in a different location. So here there is a folder for PowerShell 7 in the program files, and its exe file is different than the PowerShell 5 version. So the PowerShell 5 version, it's in C programs PowerShell. Okay, and its executable program is PowerShell.exe. As for PowerShell 7, its executable program is pwsh.exe. So this is the difference. So now I will pin it to my taskbar. Okay, and then we will begin creating different Active Directory objects. Here we can see it doesn't appear in the PowerShell program menu. Okay, so I will pin it to my taskbar. And then the first thing that we will create, it is the organizational units in the Active Directory. So we'll have a PowerShell script to create the different organizational units in my newly created domain. So let's continue, guys. Now we will begin. I will show you all how we can run the PowerShell 7. Let's see, I think I am recording here. Yes, I am. Now we will pin the PowerShell 5 module. So we have two, the PowerShell 7, the black one and the blue one. It's PowerShell 5. Okay, so PowerShell 5, it is the blue one. PowerShell 7, it's the black one. Okay. So now we will go to the folder of the scripts, and then we'll begin our first script we will use to create the organizational units in our domain. First of all, we'll take a snapshot. This is like a backup from the machine as a whole. So it's like a restore point. So we'll name it before Active Directory objects creation. So if anything happens, I can return back. Okay. So we tell him snapshot VM. So let's return back and see how this is done. It will be through the VM. Okay, so we'll go there and we'll go and tell him VM and then snapshot and take a snapshot. This is like taking a backup or a restore point. So if anything happens, we can retrieve to this point. Okay, so it will take a little bit of time. It's called saving state. As long as it's saying saving state, you do not work on the machine until it's 100%. Okay. So it's 40 or 94%, and then 95%, 96%, 97%, 98%, 100. So now you can go and begin working with the virtual machine again. So do not work with the virtual machine when the snapshot is taken. Okay, so now we will go to the folder of scripts, and then we will use our first script, or our first line in our script, which is to create the organizational units. First of all, we need to update this line of the script. So here, let me show you what I mean by this. So here the script is saying to import or to create organizational units from an Excel sheet. So the names and the locations of the organizational units are in an Excel sheet in a certain location. So I need to update this location because it's not correct. The location is COVID-19 DC domain scripts. This will contain the OU structure.csv. This is an Excel sheet that will contain the organization unit names and location. So we need to update this line with the new location. Okay, and then to apply it and to all of the other ones. So the groups will be created from an CSV file also in this location, and the computers also will be created from a CSV file in this location, and the same applies for all. Okay, so all of the Active Directory objects will be created from CSV files. Their location, it will be in the COVID-19 DC domain scripts. Okay, so we need to update it. So these are all of the lines. This first line for the organizational unit, the second line will be for the groups for the Active Directory, the third line for the group memberships, and the last two lines for the computers. Okay, so we need to update the new location of the CSV files in the DC domain scripts COVID-19. Okay, so all of the PowerShell scripts will read the locations and the names of the Active Directory objects from CSV files in this folder in this location. Okay, so we'll update all of them. Okay, and we need to get the minus or the dash, because this is not with the script line, because it will give us an error. Okay, so I need to remove it. Well, and then save. And we need to remove the dash. Okay, because this is not included with the line of the script. Okay, so and then we'll take the first line that will create organizational units structure. Okay, and we will implement it in the PowerShell 7 environment. Okay, to test it, and save the file. And then we'll create our organizational structure. Here we will open the PowerShell 7, run as administrator, then we will put the line. Okay, we'll copy the line again, but first of all we need to go from the PowerShell to the location of the folder of scripts. So here we'll tell him cd or change directory from folder C Windows C Systems 32 to folder D COVID-19 DC domain scripts folder. So this is a command to change the directory of the folder that the Windows is currently on. Okay, so now we will change it, and then we tell him to pasted the line of the PowerShell script. After implementing it, we will see, or we will check our Active Directory and see the organizational units created. Okay, so how we know it is successful? When we see this line again. Okay, so we'll go to organizational unit, or we'll go to the folder or the console and check the Active Directory console. Okay, from here, and then we'll open patient 0. Here we can see that this is the city of our main organizational unit, and we have a lot of things. So we have the brain, the heart, the kidney, the liver, the lungs, the Neuralink. All of these are discussed in the introduction video, and the sub-organizational units from brain, body cells, and we will see under body cells red, white, and platelets, cerebellum, nerve cells, vaccines. So all of these are organizational units. Okay, so this is the first step, and then after that we will create the users in our domain. So here we can see that every organizational unit will have sub-organizational units under it. So now we have all of them created. So every one will have body cells, cell groups, COVID-19 cells, nerve cells, vaccines. Okay, so all of this is the organizational structure. Now we'll begin creating the users in the Active Directory. So we'll go to another script. So this is the Excel sheet or the CSV file that contains the names of the organizational units and their location. Okay, so this is done. We can go again to another. So this is another folder that's called import Marvel Master. This is a script that will create the Active Directory users in the patient 0.internal domain. So this script will create Active Directory users, and they are a lot. Okay, about 5,000 users. Okay, so we will open the PowerShell script and we'll check some setting in it. So let's go there. Okay, and then begin it. So here we can see that first of all that we need to change in the script the location of the CSV file that will contain the users names and locations. So this is a PowerShell script that will create users of Active Directory from a CSV file that contain the names of the users, the first name, the last name, the username, and their locations as well. Okay, so we need to update it. This CSV file, it's in, as I said before, the COVID-19. It's a little bit of a location here. So this is the new location of the CSV file that contain the usernames and the passwords and all of what is related to the users in the Active Directory in this location, and the script will create them from this CSV file. Okay, and another thing, we need to make sure that this line contains the domain correctly, patient 0.internal. So if you are working with a different domain, you need to change this line. Okay, and the location of the script is the other line that we have been working on. Okay, so now let's begin applying the script. We will see that it will create some users successfully, and some users or a lot of users will not be created successfully. There is an error that will appear, and I'll show you all what is this error. So here all of users are added, but here we can see that there is an error appearing saying that there is a user with that there is the same name. So there are users having the same name in the domain. Okay, even though they have a different username, but the problem is that they have a first name and last name the same. So for example, this username is rdbr08. This username has a first name and the last name the same as the username rdbr07. Okay, so this is the error, and I'll show you all what I mean by this. So let's go further here. So let's go and see what is the problem. So the problem here, let's go there and show you all what is the problem here. This is the Excel sheet that contains the usernames DC_users. Here we can see that this username has a first name and the last name the same as this username. So we have two usernames that have the same first name and last name. Just a moment. So let's continue, guys. Here is the problem, that we have the first name and the last name for a bunch of users are the same, even though the username is different, but the first name and the last name for this username is the same. So we need to change it. So I will show you all how we can change it. Just a moment. So here we will change, we can get a little bit further here. So here we will change the first name. Okay, so here we have the first name will be different than the last name. You can leave the last name as it is, but you can change the first name or the opposite. So we will do all of this for all of the users that have the same first name and last name. So we'll do this and we will change it. Okay, and then we will save. Okay, so all of this we are changing it. There is a lot of users. Okay, so now what we will do, after changing all of this, we will return to our snapshot. Okay, so now we have ended all of this. So now I need to return back to my snapshot, okay, before AD objects. Okay, so I can begin creating the organizational units from the beginning and then create the users. Okay, so I can return back in the snapshot, and in the upcoming video we will begin creating again the organizational units, then the users after the modification that we have done. So now we are retrieving our organization, our snapshot, restoring virtual machine state. So here, this is it. We are returned back. So the upcoming video here, we can see if we return back to the Active Directory, to our snapshot, we will see that the organizational units, for example city, the one that we have created before, is disappeared because we have taken a snapshot before making the organizational units. So from here, this will be our start point. In the upcoming video we begin creating again the organizational units and then the users after changing the first name for a lot of users that have the similar first name and last name. Thank you all. I wish you all or I hope this video is informative for you all, and I would like to thank you all for viewing. Until the upcoming video, thank you so much. Okay, so here we'll do this and stop.